So I like to use the sprayway and a microfiber to get that that initial dust and stuff off. So I'm just going to center y'all back up and let it be. See what we got here. Another thing that I want to recommend to y'all, tack rag. Go ahead and open it up. Let it acclimate to the system. That's just a big word to let it air out. I like to do it while I got my gloves on, because then when I take my gloves off, I can throw my gloves away because this stuff is sticky. Once you take it out of the bag and get it opened up, I like to let mine, I don't know what the sticky stuff is on it, but if you take it out and let it kind of like air dry, I guess you could say, then I like to take and kind of ball it back up and put it into a baggie, a Ziploc baggie.
All right, Mama, here we go. This is not all the pieces, but I've got 4 small pieces left to do that I just really didn't have nowhere to set up in the booth without knocking something over, because I'm like a bull in a china shop. So this is, I use my epoxy primer as a sealer, the Tamco 661. I went in and put 1 medium wet coat or 1 wet coat, however you want to describe it, but it makes a really good sealer. It mixes 1 to 1, and then I'll go out of the booth and you can give it 20 minutes or you can give it up to 7 days, just whatever you choose. If you want to let it set overnight, come in and lightly sand everything. If you don't have a perfect surface area, then you can do that. But this stuff really lays down nice. I use the Velbus Pro Light with a 1.4 tip, and it really is it's a good little gun. Like I said, the epoxy lays down good. The 1.4 tip puts it on smooth. So now I come in here and I'm getting ready to put my first round of base coat, and this is the Tamco Freedom Blue, just like on the rest of the truck, but I don't know, it seems really thick for base coat. I mean, it mixes 1 to 1 also, and their base coats is considered 2 coat coverage, maybe 3, and so it's really a rich base coat. If you've never sprayed it, it's like spraying, for their base coat, it's kind of like spraying a single stage paint from other companies. So it seems to be a good quality base coat. I've been using it for several years now and hadn't had any problems. I do believe sometimes that your thinner base coats, like the Nason, PPG, Exalta, stuff like that, might lay out a little smoother, but you have to put multiple coats because it's just not as good. Now this is the second coat. I ended up doing 3 coats, and then I went back in and checked everything, and then I put, I guess, what they call a drop coat. I'm really not, I don't get that excited about the painting. I like everything in between. I don't care. I like, doing the clear coat, and then I like cutting and buffing, or I like the body work and the metal fabrication leading up. But the actual base coat, yeah, I don't care a whole lot about it. But anyway, somebody's got to do it. If you spend this much time on a project and you've done everything else, you might as well go ahead and get the base coat, and then if something happens, you ain't got to, no one to blame, you know. So this here, I'm about to wrap up my second coat. I ended up putting, like I said, 3 coats on. I went back in, done a drop coat, and then I usually put 3 coats of clear. I put 3 coats of clear on the cab, but on the actual, these pieces here, I put 2 really wet coats of the Tamco 2104 clear coat, which is what they tell me it's the high solids. So this truck here is going to be it's not going to be a daily driver, but you know, he is planning on driving it. And so it won't get, I'll probably nib the trash out, but it won't get a really major cut and buff like I do on others. Or I may end up going in and, you know, cutting and buffing on the flat areas, like the tops of the fenders, tops of the rear fenders, tops of the front, the hood. But, you know, if you clean up part of it really, really nice, then you've about got to clean up the rest of it, because anybody that paints or anybody that can see or pay any attention at all will notice the orange peel. Like, let's say you cut and buff down to a body line. This here is just showing after my 3 coats how the base coat lays down. But let's say that you cut and buff, and you only cut and buff half the vehicle, say down to the first body line. Well, the top of it's going to be glassy, especially on a convexed area like the tops of those round fenders. And then the flat part, the convex, the concaved areas, is going to look, you know, even more orange peely, because the panel is kind of, it's not flat and it's not round. It's actually, you know, concaved. But here's my first coat of clear, and I went in and, like I said, I put it on wet. I always run everything full fluid. My base coat's always at full fluid. I was using the Iwata base coat gun, their LS 400, which is a HVLP. It's got a 1.3 tip. It's the 1.3 HD for a kind of a humid area, is what they tell me. And I always run it full fluid. And Tamco's site, per where they've tested, you're to run your fan all the way out and run it back in 1.5 rounds for spraying the base. They claim that the Iwata might blow the center out just a little bit because it's got such a wide fan. But on the clear coat gun, they recommend the same thing. Well, this is the WS 400 Iwata 1.3 HD, same style tip, but in their clear version. And I run it full fluid, and I run it at 1.5 turns in on the fan. And on the pressure, I was running about 30, 31. For the base coat, I was running about 26, 27. They claim, you know, it will lay the metallics out better. I don't know 100% for sure, but you know, any of you that knows a better way of laying out the metallics, drop me a comment, help me out, because like I said, I'm not real big on painting anyway. But anyway, I really do appreciate everybody that has watched, commented, liked, shared. The channel's up to like 1,212 subscribers, and you know, that excites me, because I know that people are watching, and You know, if I could do anything that just shows someone how to do something. I mean, you don't have to have $100,000 paint booth. You just need good lights, good fan, an explosion-proof fan, good filters to filter everything, and you don't even have to have the best guns. I just, ended up buying these. What do you think, Mama? Been another day at the office. What I call a hard day at the office for me. Let's see. Let's see if I can lock this. There we go. Maybe that'll work better. Turned out pretty good. Big heavy Chevy. Clear coat is sticking to my feet. I think this concludes the 59 Chevy truck. So y'all stay tuned on other things that's coming. I'm trying to learn this new camera. So I'll end with this and say, if someone tells you that they can't paint your car or truck at a reasonable price, like some people want $15,000-$20,000 to fix a truck or a car, and I'm not going to try to get in a debate, but I'm here to tell you that if you want a nice project, take this truck. Now this guy, he's my best friend, but he didn't spend no $15,000-$20,000 to get it fixed. But he did pay, but it's not what people think. So if anybody won't give you a price that's worth talking about, you got my number. Call me. I'll see what I can do.